Hello everyone, Johnny Minder here. And today we are continuing to learn Japanese with Super Mario World, in particular the Super Mario Advance 2 version. Last time we finished, actually completed in the sense that we played all the levels, got all the exits of World 3, started World 4, and so yeah, today we'll continue that. We'll also tackle a certain other extra related to World 4, but you'll see it when we do it. Most likely we'll also finish it. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, without further ado, let's start. Okay.
Here we go! Super Mario!
And as you can see here, our current progress. We're in World 4, as mentioned. We got 43 exits. Yeah, that number is the number of exits you found. So yeah, we want to find, we want to complete, not just finish, but complete the game in the sense of finding all its exits, playing all its levels. Not the dragon coins, we'll get as many of those as possible, but yeah, not necessarily go for them all. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. As you can see here, yeah, last time we ended by getting the secret exit of the level above, the cheese bridge course. We also have this one, but yeah, we want to start with this level first and foremost, which is called Soda no mizu umi. Yeah, first and foremost we have soda, of course from English soda. Okay, let me check its accent as usual. Interestingly enough, technically the word soda came first from Dutch. Yeah, that's actually because, although of course not in the sense of meant here, because yeah, here is of course the drink. Yeah, the accent for soda is accented, and so on the so, high, low, low. Then we have the possessive particle no, and then we have this term Mizumi, which means lake, even though literally, and I don't remember if we ever checked if we could find it, if we managed to find it, because yeah, apparently if you consider the words themselves, yeah, we have Mizu, which we have seen before in previous series. Not sure if also this one. Unaccented means water, especially cool or cold, because there's a term, a specific term for hot water. I think it was accented. By the way, we check that. This thing, yeah, accented. We have mentioned that for sure before. And then we have umi, which on its own means sea. Accented on the first syllable, yes it is. And yeah, apparently also on Wiktionary it simply says yeah, from Mizu and Umi. So yeah, literally water and sea. But yeah, most likely simply sea, then by extension a body of water, and yeah, then this term simply means like a lake, but yeah. Unfortunately, couldn't find also there an explanation. I wonder if in one of my books about etymology it's present. But yeah, technically a compound, a strictly Japanese compound. So it's not surprising seeing that its accent is on the on umi, on the u of umi. So yeah, just like the word on its own, but more likely, considering that it's a compound, would be on the first syllable of the second part of the compound. And yeah, we've seen that that's a typical spot for accents of compounds. We've seen also some unaccented, unfortunately. Yeah, the usual locations are the final syllable of the first part of a compound, or the first one of the second part. Yeah. So yeah, the title here is simply Soda Lake, Lake of Soda, of course. But yeah, in English we can keep it in the same order as Japanese, of course, without the possessive particle. Would be Soda's Lake, technically. I'm not sure if we... Yeah, I think we had played as Luigi last time, but yeah, we can actually start it.
Let's go.
As Mario. We might check the status menu, or however it's supposed to be called, to see how many levels each brother has played so far. But yeah, we have these torpedoes. I wanted to activate that. Too bad that the 5-hour despawn. Oh well. I'm starting really bad this time, but... And yeah, of course, being a lake, even in the title, yeah, it's a water level. I have to be way more careful here. I lost all my power-ups. And simply because, yeah, I wasn't careful enough. Honestly, better to restart in this case, so that we can get at least something. Yeah, let's be more careful. Can get a mushroom here.
Just what I needed.
So we get to here. Yeah, as soon as I say it, then... Okay, no. Let's actually restart here. Technically, it doesn't matter, as again, we have a lot of lives, as you can see, but yeah. Just to make it somewhat faster, at least. Okay. You have to be careful about this one here. Then maybe better to pass under the other one. No, okay, perfect. Just you have to wait. Yeah, let's be careful. Perfect. One. Yeah, those torpedoes, I think straight up called torpedo bill, of course related to bullet bills. Also in the graphic. Wonder in Japanese, since the Japanese name of torpedo, of bullet bills is Kira, killer, literally. Yeah, not sure about the name of these ones. I might have read it in the past on Mario Wiki, but yeah, only once or twice. So I don't remember it like that. we'll eventually see, hopefully, names of such enemies in-game. No, sorry, but as you have seen, we are about to finish the level. We have already found all the coins, so yeah. Let's not restart it. And yeah, here we have the ending. Yeah, let's get some bonus stars. Okay. And yeah, by doing that, yeah, funny enough, we swim a lot. And yeah, we got here, and yeah, it simply says Soda no mi zu mi, Star Rodo. And yeah, so again, Soda Lake, the level we have just played. Yeah, after that we have Star Rodo, because yeah, it's the usual Star Road. Again, both accented, just like in English. Most likely it becomes a compound of sorts. And you keep, in this case, only the accent, at least so far we have seen, and I think that might be, if not a rule, at least a tendency that, yeah, you keep the accent of the second word. So yeah, Starodo. So, do high, the last one on the ro, and then everything else low. But yeah, we can take it. We switch to Luigi, by the way. Well, I can quickly show here. We'll take it back, because yeah, we're playing these levels. When we unlock the relative star roads. But yeah, this one simply says Star Rodo Soda no mi zu mi he. So yeah, Star Road. Then we have again Soda no mi zu mi. So yeah, Soda Lake. And then we have the directional particle e written as he, towards. And so yeah, because it takes you there. But the level we want to play is this one. Native Star course San. And yeah, we have seen that the levels in this world in Japanese. In English, I think they're simply called. I've seen them when I put the timestamps of previous episodes with them. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's straight up simply Star Road. Sorry, Star World. In this case. Yeah, in Japanese we have native. Yeah, native. So yeah, from native. From English. I want to quickly check the accent if I can find it again. Yes. Yeah, just like in English, native. The only changes as usual, the at the end for the bu, because the consonants apart from n can stay on their own, and then also of course the usual v that becomes b. Nowadays Japanese also has can write as the va, vi, vu, ve, vo syllables. With U with the duck 10, and then also small AI, not U because of course we already have V with U with the duck 10 on its own, EO. But yeah, of course in most in words already in the language before, more often than not they simply keep the B as the replacement. Also, it's more convenient to write usually. Yeah, then we have a star again. Like Star Road we have seen. Also, reminder that the U of Su is barely heard if at all because it's between unvoiced consonants. The long vowel because of R, but Actually, like English variants without the R sounds. The typical example, car, which becomes car, with also the long vowel. And yeah, then of course, course, as in the level, stage. And yeah, the number 3, so most likely the Chinese numeral, which is the most common way to pronounce the number on its own. San, unaccented, we've seen it also last time, I think. Yeah, so we can play it.
Let's go.
And yeah, as you have seen also on the map, also the other levels. Yeah, we have to be careful. Yeah, this time we actually have the small Yoshi, because there wasn't a star immediately. I don't remember. Yeah, I can actually... Oh, yeah. And yeah, when the Yoshi becomes big... Okay, but let's not do it like this, because yeah, keeping this music of the button while reading is not the best. And yeah, let's do it like this. Better the regular music. Yeah, so we have this writing to check out. Yeah, what Yoshi says. First and foremost is he, with the small tsu at the end and the exclamation mark. And yeah, again, an onomatopoeia of relief, I'd say again. Yeah, considering that it has just come out of the egg after being trapped into it. I don't think I can even find it in the dictionary. It's straight up an onomatopoeia, an exclamation also. The small tsu at the end means an abrupt end. So yeah, we have technically the long vowel and then it stops. He. And yeah, after that we have Tascata. We've seen it before. Also with these very Yoshis that we find in these levels of Star World, Native Star in Japanese that we have seen. Yeah, we have Tascata from Tasukaru, accented, I'm pretty sure we have seen before. Yes, it is. We have also seen the transitive form of the verb taskeru. This again the sub with the u barely heard if at all, because it's between a voiced consonants. Yeah, taskeru, transitive, the intransitive in aru. So yeah, the intransitive actually most likely a classical form of the passive. And yeah, the meaning is to be saved, to be rescued. So yeah, even more so in the case of these verbs, you can see that origin also in translation. It's a verb godan verb, so we can to make the form we have to follow the rules. We change the ru into double consonant ta. Again, most likely, first we change the u into i to make the continuative form tasukari, then to add ta. But most likely the i fell, so taskarta, difficult to pronounce, so actually became the doubling of the following consonant, tasukata. And yeah, past ta form, and so past form of the verb in plain speech. Yeah, so I've been saved, I've been rescued. Then he says Boku, Kiro, Yoshi. And yeah, first and foremost, Boku. We've seen it again with all the other Yoshi because they use this pronoun. And yeah, it's a first person singular pronoun, I. male term or language, but as we have seen, this one is more at least it's not like ore, which we have seen can be is still male term or language, unaccented, that one. But yeah, sounds rough at the very least, if not straight up arrogant. So yeah, unsurprisingly, Yoshi uses Boku as his pronoun. And then we have Kiro, which we have seen in this very series. I'm not sure if also, don't think also before. So potentially only in this very series. Because we have found a switch of the same color, and yeah, Ki on its own would mean yellow. Even though on its own it's not used. Accented, or at least not usually. Of course, to avoid also confusion, reminder that we also have key accented, also in that case for 3, key unaccented for mind, spirit, and so on. But yeah, so yeah, usually we had Iro on its own, accent on the last syllable, means color. When added after as a suffix, like technically in this case, it makes the word is always unaccented, so that's pretty convenient. Yeah, literally yellow color, so yeah, yellow. As in both the noun, and then we can also make technically can also be an adjective, but yeah, we can also make the in practice an adjective by adding the possessive particle no. Even though, again, literally in that case would be noun plus possessive particle combination, but yeah, in practice, as you have seen, they work as like adjectives. Here we don't, straight up, don't have any particle, any additions. And yeah, so it kind of works like a prefix in that sense. Yeah, we simply add it like that, and then we have Yoshi. And yeah, Yoshi is a Japanese name. So yeah, that simply means well, most likely there's an implied wa written as ha. If it were written, of course, not in this case. The topic particle. So yeah, as for me, I have to repeat it, of course, in English. Most likely implied also the copula. I am yellow Yoshi. And yeah, of course, after that we have the actual explanation. And if you remember, this the structure is practically the same. There have been a couple of variations so far, and yeah, we'll have some variations also here, but the structure is the same as the previous Yoshi. And yeah, after that, the actual explanation is Donna iro no kora o kuchi ni fukunde mo sunakemuri o makichirasu koto ga dekiru yo. First and foremost, we have Donna from the Kosado series, close to both the speaker and the listener, so far from the speaker, close to the listener, far from both. Do the interrogative, Koso are usually unaccented, do accent on do itself. And yeah, in our case we have Donna, actually a contraction of Dono Yona, what kind of was sort of, also with it's an adjective, and in this case we straight up keep it, and then we contract it, get a contraction Donna, Dono Yona, Donna. Way shorter, of course, way more convenient, but the origin is that. So yeah, Donna, what kind of, what sort of, and yeah, then we have Iro again, this time on its own, so yeah, would be accented on the last syllable. In this case, although it would become unaccented because after that we have the possessive particle no, and that's the rule of that when you attach the possessive particle to a word with the accent on the last mora. As a reminder, moras are one of the units in which you divide words in Japanese, called also haku bits in straight up in Japanese. Yeah, they can correspond to syllables, but also be smaller. They mostly correspond to a single kana symbol. The only exception being small ya, yu, yo, I, u, e, o. Small su counts as a mora. But yeah, all the other ones, a single syllable. Yeah, small ya, yu, yo, I, u, e, o count together with the part before them. So yeah, in for example, ya with the ki, shi, and so on, with which they make the sounds kya, sha, and so on. But yeah, simply as a reminder of all that matter. But yeah, in this case, last mora accented would be, but yeah, when you add no, it becomes unaccented, the word donneiro no. Of course, actually, the accent that matters the most in this context would be the first donna. So yeah, after that it would be still low anyway. So it stays low simply. Yeah, what kind of color? And then with the possessive particle we attach it to the following noun, which is kora. Yeah, we have seen it in the explanation for the blue Yoshi last time. Also maybe before in this very series. Yeah, quite an important term for Mario games, because yeah, kora means unaccented. Unsurprisingly, since it's a Chinese compound, again, by Chinese compounds I intend can also be bigger ones, but yeah, the most common ones are simply two kanji with Chinese pronunciations. Yeah, kora means shell of a crab, tortoise, and so on, a carapace. Yeah, so quite an important term for Mario games, of course. Then we have the object particle o, written as wo and pronounced as such in careful speech and also singing. Then we have the term kuchi. We have seen it before, we even studied its kanji. This one should be in Kirby's Adventure. Again, you can review it, other than, of course, other on the internet, in books and so on. Also, I put you can find the specific part in which we studied it if you want to check that out or review it there in the playlist, in the description of the playlist of series in which we studied kanji, in this case Kirby's Adventure. Yeah, simply as a reminder. Yeah, kuchi, unaccented. The U is barely heard, if at all, because it's between our voice consonants. Mouth, and yeah, in this case, straight up mouth, its fundamental meaning. Then we have the particle ni, most likely to, as in into, but we have seen that it's required by the following verb, fukumu. Fukumu means to contain. And so yeah, we got this expression, kuchi ni fukumu. Fukumu on its own accented. So also in this expression, also kuchi is an accent, so yeah, the accent is only on fukumu. But yeah, kuchi ni fukumu, to hold in the mouth. And yeah, so literally to contain into the mouth. Yeah, to hold in the mouth. Fukumu is a verb colon verb. So to make the te form, like in this case, we have to follow the rules. Becomes de. We replace the mu with de. Again, most likely, first we change the u into i to make the continuative form. Fukumi, then we added the te. But then the i fell and only the m remained. Which is from that we get this this single the consonant, the only Japanese consonant that can stay on its own, and is also pronounced M in other contexts when followed by bilabial consonants, so bu or so B or P. But yeah, in this case, then we also have the voicing of the te, becomes de. But that's actually also because in classical Japanese, voiced consonants, so those with the duck 10 on the top right to commas, were actually prenasalized. So yeah, in this case it would be de. So yeah, you can see why nowadays it has been kept in this case. And so yeah, why then we start, it ended up being written as and then the de. But yeah, the form in this case required to make, to then add the inclusive particle also even. And when we add that to the te form of a verb, we get, well, the most common meaning is actually even though. So yeah, although, but yeah, literally better, even though, so you can see actually why we use the inclusive particle. But in this case, as we have seen last time with the blue Yoshi, in this case would be no matter, because of also that donna at the start. So no matter what kind of color of shell, but actually, no matter yeah, in this case we actually have to keep it like that to keep it no matter the shell of whichever kind of color would then become. So yeah, we technically can keep the ever but move on the interrogative. Yeah, actually, as a reminder, with other interrogative usually pronouns, you can add demo to have the whatever, whoever meanings, dare demo, nan demo, and so on. Yeah, we'll see those again when the time comes. And then we finally have, yeah, this part was actually the one we have seen before. No variations, I'm pretty sure. Now we have the change, because yeah, of course we have a different power. And yeah, first and foremost it says there's the Sunakemuri. I wonder if I find it, I think so. Yeah, it's a compound, a strictly Japanese compound. And yeah, on its own we have Suna. An accent, okay, correct. Which means sand. Then we have the word Kemuri. Also unaccented. technically Kemuri, I wonder if I find it though, because nowadays it's not well, it's used but not as much usually. Kemuri, you'll find it more. Yeah, it comes from the verb kemuru. Also as a variant, keburu. Yeah, you see it also in other words. This variant between mu and bu in certain strictly Japanese terms. More often than not, you nowadays the variants with mu are with m, I should say, because we also have samishi, sabishi, for example. Lonely, the adjective. To quickly check the accent of that. That one can be heard actually more in the B variant with B. Actually both, but yeah. It depends. Others like kemuru, kemuri, usually with the M nowadays. Yeah, there's this. There are these variants between. Again, most likely because of that prenasalized voiced consonants as mentioned. Kemuri, kemburi would be, so yeah, in the classical Japanese because of the prenasalized voiced consonant kemburi, kemburi. So yeah, you can see why it's similar. There are these variants. Okay, sabishi, by the way, yeah, lonely as mentioned, but yeah, that's wanted to check the accent, and yeah, it's accented. Yeah, kemuru means to smoke off a fire. Be careful not to smoke as in smoke tobacco, smoke cigarettes actually more, even though the word for used in Japanese is tabako. In that case we use the verb su, which actually we have seen tabako unaccented, by the way. Su, I think also unaccented, but we have seen it funny enough in Kirby's Adventure, because yeah, typical verb for Kirby. Yeah, kemuri, kemuru, we were mentioning the verb, to smoke off a fire, to below smoke, to smolder, by extension also to be hazy, to look dim. But yeah, it's a U verb colon verb, so we can change the U into E to make the continuative form. And so in our case, the corresponding noun, kemuri, means smoke. Smoke, fumes. Yeah, so literally it's simply sand smoke. So yeah, actually the translation then mentioned by the dictionary is cloud of sand, dust, and so on by extension. Yeah, literally cloud of sand. What's interesting is that actually the accent of sunakemuri is on the ke. And so notice again on the first syllable, first mora, technically, but yeah, doesn't matter in this case, of the second part of the compound. Yeah, so again, we see that the tendency is clearly that for the accent of such compounds. Yeah, so we have this cloud of sand. Then we have the object particle o. Then we have makichirasu, a compound verb. I can already tell you. Want to, of course, also check its accents and so on. Well, it comes from maku, first and foremost. which means to scatter, accented, okay. To scatter, to sprinkle, to strew, and so on. By other extended meanings, for example, to distribute flyers and so on, to give out, to hand out. But yeah, of course, from the fundamental meaning, which is to scatter. It's a verb colon verb, so we can change the U into I to make the continuative form. In this case, to attach the second verb part of the compound, which is chirasu, which also actually means to scatter. Technically, this one to scatter, to cause a shower off, also by extension to disperse, to distribute, to spread. Yeah, they have some different usages, but yeah, both mean to scatter. Fundamentally, chirasu is unaccented. It's worth mentioning that it uses the kanji for the verb chiru. And yeah, chiru, and also an accent, surprisingly, means to fall of blossoms, leaves. You might have heard it before. So yeah, actually, again, to scatter, but the intransitive form of the verb. Intransitive in U, transitive in asu, and yeah, okay, the transitive is actually a classical form of the causative, so yeah, to make, scatter, literally, so yeah, actually to scatter in the transitive usage. But yeah, so this makichirasu, accented, so on the ra of chirasu, so be careful, unlike the verb on its own. The meaning is simply to scatter, because of both, it's the meaning of both verbs, to scatter, to spread. In our case, to scatter, quote unquote, to spread better, this cloud of sand. Actually, I think we... technically, you could keep it in the singular, maybe in the plural, based on how it looks technically. Doesn't particularly matter, the way. After makichirasu, we have koto, accent on the last syllable, thing, as in matter. Yeah, it's actually a nominalizer for verbs. Similar to no, also a nominalizer for verbs. Thing as in fact, we could say. But yeah, both have that function, but each one has certain specific uses. Like this one, for koto, we then add the subject particle ga, and then we add the verb dekiru, to be able to do, also used as a replacement form for the potential form of suru, to do. Yeah, we don't conjugate suru, we straight up replace it with dekiru, because yeah, dekiru already has the meaning to be able to do. And so yeah, with this form kotoga dekiru, we actually make another form of the potential of a verb. Technically, we could simply conjugate most verbs into their potential forms, but yeah, also this form exists. Maybe slightly more formal technically. But yeah, both exist and both are used, as we have seen. We've actually seen both the potential and this form in this very game, I think, and in general. Last but not least, we have the final sentence particle, yo. In its most common use, well, in translation, I say like you know. It usually simply indicates certainty or emphasis. Can also have other meanings, but yeah, usually those are the most common ones. Okay, so the full translation of this part is no matter which, no matter the shell of whatever color you hold on better, and because it's Yoshi speaking, I hold in like my mouth, I can literally the fact of the action of the verb is possible. Yeah, that's actually why potential forms like this one in the structure kotoga de kiru, but also when we use verbs by conjugating them into the potential forms, the rule would be that even if originally whatever is possible would be the object, it becomes the subject because, yeah. But the logic is that something is possible or can be done. The action of the verb can be done for that something. Yeah. As we were saying, yeah. After that, no matter which which shell of whatever color I hold in my mouth, I can spread clouds of sand, literally. Well, not literally, the translation that we have seen in English literally is sand, smoke. Yeah, so we finally got finished this explanation. We can actually ride Yoshi here. Okay, yeah, let's actually do this here. Yeah, actually, I would need the Lucky 2 there, so let's actually do this. I will do it this way then. I'll get rid of Yoshi here. Not like that. Okay, no, I was sure that I actually had to defeat the Lucky 2. Okay, maybe I have to do it, but with... okay, yeah, with that. Okay, maybe we can actually keep Yoshi then for now. Okay, yeah, we can ride with Yoshi here. Yeah, up here is where we can find the key. Please, let's hold it. And the keyhole. Yeah, so here's the secret exit, which is the one actually required to get to the other part here, which we won't check for now. We quickly replay this level to get the regular exit. We've actually seen pretty easy. Since we already have Yoshi, we can do that. I still want to get the cloud here. Actually, more to go down there, but I want to quickly check if there's a... because the matter here is that technically... Yeah, no, I didn't want to do that. That was an accident. Okay, yeah. Doubt I'll be able to keep the cloud for long, so yeah, let's ignore that. Okay, yeah. I wanted to open here a way. Okay, there are 3 of them there. Okay, I didn't... I'd only seen the first one. I wanted to open enough there to then... yeah, you might see what we have to do to get there. Okay. Too bad that now the cloud is too high there. This Let's see if I can. Funny enough, I haven't actually... well, I can't show the power of this Yoshi. Let's actually do it like this then. Let's get the cloud. Okay, no. Okay, no, let's actually do it properly then. Without wasting all that time. Well, actually, I'll do it like that then. Okay. I doubt I'll be able to go back that much. Yeah, you have to be careful here because you pick this up, but you don't want to pick up the one you are standing on. Okay, like this, maybe it can make it work. I need another one to get rid of Lucky 2 there without dying. Hopefully. Okay, this time I managed to do it and then lost Yoshi. Okay, let's be more careful. Yeah, technically it doesn't matter there, but if we die, but then of course we would lose Yoshi. It would become annoying because then you'd need what's getting in the way there is okay. Without picking up the second one. You know what? Let's restart so we have more time at this point. And we have the issue of Yoshi then. Can relatively quickly get the big Yoshi. Yeah, like that. Okay, let me not that one again. Okay. 1. 10. Okay. In this case I'll actually set like that. Like this, not this one. That might become a problem. Okay, no, I actually made it. Ah, okay, but it then disappears like that. Okay. Yeah, the timer is from when you defeat the Lucky 2. Okay, got that. Okay, perfect. So yeah, you want the cloud, go down again, like last time. Yeah, this time way more easy with the cloud. Well, apart from, of course, getting rid of the blocks as we have seen. Oh yeah, no Yoshi sacrifice is needed, or cape. Oh yeah, the regular exit sends us back here. So yeah, we'll actually take it. We'll go back here. Up here. And yeah, so we can get back to this. And yeah, you have seen the Chip when you cross the bridge there. And yeah, so we'll play this level, but after our usual break around 5 minutes. And yeah, when we'll be back, we'll start from this level. And yeah, you can see the castle there, so we'll get to it pretty quickly. We should be able to finish the world. Hopefully also read the story after the castle. But yeah, see you around in around 5 minutes. And we are back. And yeah, we can continue with this level, which is called Senべいやまのコース. First and foremost, we have this senbei. Again, as a reminder, we have E with, which is read mostly long E nowadays. Some might still pronounce it as A. The N, since it's before, as mentioned also in this very episode before, it's followed by a bilabial consonant. In this particular case, B is actually pronounced as M. So yeah, senbei. Yeah, this term, senbei, accented on the first syllable, despite being a Chinese compound. So yeah, it's actually the second most common accent for Chinese compounds, as we have seen. Usually most are unaccented, at least based on what we have seen so far. But yeah, this is a particular food, Japanese food. Technically, it's Japanese rice cracker. So yeah, like a cracker, but made of rice, unsurprisingly, since it's such a fundamental food in Japan and in East Asia in general. But yeah, so we have this rice cracker, we can translate it. If we don't keep, you might find it straight up kept, of course, because it's a name of a specific food, Japanese food. Then we have yama. On its own, yama, accent on the last syllable. With, don't remember if straight up C. Well, I think we have actually seen it because of the Kappayama, if I recall correctly, in this very series. The Kappa Mountain, as we have seen. But yeah, not on its own usually. Yama, accent on the last syllable, means mountain. In this case, used as a suffix. So we'll check again what the rule is. Got the physical dictionary to check. It's worth mentioning while I go there that nowadays you would use the suffix san, which is the Chinese reading, and actually, for example, it's the most common term for it in other languages is Fujiyama, for the Mount Fuji. Technically, in Japanese nowadays, you would usually call it Fuji-san. With san, the accent is usually, there are some exceptions, including the Fuji-san I mentioned, which keeps its accent on its own. So yeah, Mount Fuji, the accent is on the fu. And yeah, so Fuji-san is accented on the fu. I think I've actually seen it can find it there in on the online dictionary plus Raggy combination, but I think we have seen it in the physical dictionary because we checked out this rule before. But yeah, usually you would simply, the accent would be simply before the sun itself. Let me quickly check though, just to be completely sure about that. But yeah, we have those, yeah, Fuji-san accent on the Fu. But yeah, here we have Yama again. When you add Yama, it's actually easier. Yeah, it straight up becomes. Well, sorry. I wish there are two variants. Again, we have seen it also with other such suffixes. Unaccented or accented before Yama itself. I'll quickly check the rule, but I think that usually it should be unaccented. Yes. But then there's the note that mentions that some of them are accented before the suffix itself, on the other hand. But yeah, the rule seems to be that in general you would the accent will be unaccented. So yeah, we'll keep it like that. We have no way to check it, of course, since it's a made-up term in this case. Yeah, we have this Mount rice cracker. All these food terms used for the names of levels in this game. After that, we have the possessive particle no, simply to connect it. Well, of course, also off the rice cracker mountain, but also to connect it to the following noun, which is course, of course, again. So yeah, rice cracker mountain course, or course of the rice cracker mountain. And yeah, we can now play it. Okay, we had Luigi.
Mario.
Can switch to Mario.
Let's go.
I really should check though how the status currently is. And yeah, we have both Mounty Moles there, popping out of the ground, as we have seen. Yeah, the one I defeated was Sumo Bros. Okay. If only we could find... but, okay, no, let's skip Yoshi. I haven't even been able to show his power here. Okay. I'd like to hopefully keep both Yoshi and my mushroom. Oh yeah. When you have the shell, no matter the color, with the yellow Yoshi, yeah, you release this sand, smoke, clouds of sand, as it's said in that in his presentation. But yeah, for other Yoshis, you would need yellow shells. Yeah, funny enough, there I fell. Despite this, that I wanted to mention, actually because I got distracted by it. But yeah, this jump becomes easier if you have found the red switch, and yeah, we have, but yeah. In my case, I actually fell because of that. Okay, no, let's actually do it properly. Yeah, you have to be careful here about all these Monty Moles. Yeah, they can be kind of annoying. Okay, no, we can't enter there. Okay, we have the other Actually, more than one Sumo Bro. Okay. at this point I actually keep the heat. Yeah, we'll simply avoid. Not sure if you can even get there without a cape or a flying Yoshi. Also there. Getting hit everywhere. Okay, no, you can, but I have to leave Yoshi down there. Okay. You can make the jump also. Oh yeah, there's a 1-up. Okay. Yeah, while I've played, finished and completed in the sense of, okay, not going to the right, clearly, then to the left. Yeah, while I've played, finished and completed as in playing all the levels of this game. Okay, simply it was to go down there and then, okay. Then you would have to be careful about the fish. Ah, okay, and then you come back here. Okay, we have to hurry then. But yeah, I don't remember straight up details like those. Okay. Yeah, with that we actually get... yeah, nothing there. There you would need, of course, a shell to throw it. Okay, no, let's actually rewind here. Yeah, that crowd throws those coins. Don't remember if there is simply coins like that, or if you get them all or something like along those lines, then you get... yeah, actually we ran out of time. Okay, let's try to be quicker here. Let's not waste time. So maybe we can end... okay, perfect. But yeah, I'm not sure if there are a certain number, and if you collect them all, you get a life or something like that. Really don't remember that. Okay. We have a bonus game because we got enough bonus stars. Okay, perfect there. Then, of course, I stopped jumping. Okay. Ah, okay, no. Now I'm getting the wrong ones. Oh yeah, we got 2 lines, at least. So yeah, 2 1-ups. Okay. Yeah, while keeping Yoshi is nice in general, not the best, because you can't take him into castles. And yeah, we have the castle now of World 4, which is... well, first, sorry, let me actually check this though. Yeah, good thing I did, because yeah, we have to play, because of the, it's the exits that matter. Yeah, we now have to play still as Mario. We'll keep Mario. To play the castle, which is called simply Sen bei ya no Shiro. Yeah, again, we have the sen bei, and so the rice cracker, Yama mountain, should be unaccented. The possessive particle no. But after that we have Shiro, which we have seen in this very series. Yeah, it's the term for castle, the strictly Japanese term, unaccented. As a reminder, do not be confused with Shiro, accent on the first syllable, which means white, but of course, not only the accent, but also straight up the context. Yeah, wouldn't make sense. The white here helps. Yeah, so castle of Rice Cracker Mountain, or Rice Cracker Mountain Castle. Oh yeah, we play it as Mario. Yeah, here we can see again the cutscene where the Mario or Luigi gets off Yoshi, so yeah, you can bring Yoshi in. Yeah, without any power-ups, we have to quite be careful here. As soon as I say it, I do something that I shouldn't have done. I was worried about that one, but there we can duck. Ah yeah, now we get a mushroom. Okay. Yeah, technically I could have taken the hit, but yeah, that's not... Okay, yeah. Good thing I hurried in that case, because yeah, I had... in other cases, you have to find, of course, a place in which to stop a gap to not get squished. Okay, by taking it immediately. I wonder if I can make it... well, not like that. For sure. I feel like there's too little time here. Okay, let's restart it. My worry is that even if you keep the power up, might not be enough. Well, you shouldn't get crashed straight up in this game. But to be completely honest, I don't fully remember. Actually, I have an idea here. Let's let it go down here. Okay, then hit the block, and then we can start running. Of course, it would be easier here without... Okay, no, I want to keep the power up if possible. Also considering what I mentioned. Oh yeah, by doing that, actually we might be able to do it. Okay, yeah. Yeah, keeping... hitting the block and then letting it start moving while it goes up is the strat. And yeah, we have again the gates, the metal... actually, sorry, the metal fences. Don't remember the translation, but yeah, in Japanese they were called literally metal webs. Kanami, if I recall correctly. We have seen it in the very first... let's skip the cape. Thank you. Easier said than done with all these Koopas. Okay, this is perfect. Not that, then. Perfect. Okay, no. Ah, okay. We are missing a coin. Quickly give it a try then. Okay, we have to go up there for the castle, for the boss. Okay, the coin is down here. Okay, yeah. For that, I will sacrifice my power up, and even more so since, yeah, we can get another one here. Perfect. Let's do that. Okay. And yeah, so we get to the boss. And yeah, it's Ludwig. As you might recognize from his appearance. Koopalings look slightly different in this game. Okay, no, I was... Okay, no, yeah. He comes back on screen. Okay. Thought you might have needed to come back there, but yeah. Actually, we got unlucky at first that went off screen. Yeah, 3 hits, and he's defeated. And yeah, with that, we have finished the castle. And yeah, we have the usual cutscene. And we'll have the story. And yeah. Bombed, but actually sent it up as a missile. And yeah, we have the story, so yeah. Hopefully we'll be able to check it fully. I think it's actually maybe even slightly longer than usual here. But yeah. First and foremost, we have Yonbanme no Kokuppa mo Nantoka Kuria. And yeah, first and foremost, we have Yonban. We've seen before numera plus counter combinations. Well, not this one in particular, but yeah, because of the previous castle, we've seen the counter ban used for number. Ban on its own means number, its most common meaning. Number in a series. Can also has the extended meanings of one's turn, watch, guard, lookout, so on. But yeah, for now, keep in mind number on its own accented ban. Yeah, here numera plus counter. Ban is of Chinese origin, so usually you would use Chinese numerals, but yeah, of course, for the number 4 we usually use Yon, the strictly Japanese number, instead, because again the Chinese numeral would be pronounced as Shi, which is identical in pronunciation to the kanji of death. So yeah, that's why it's they prefer not to not use that. It's still used sometimes even on its own nowadays, but mostly in certain specific compounds or numera plus counter combinations technically. I'll quickly take the other physical dictionary to repeat the pronunciations of the numera plus counter combinations with ban. Yeah, got the physical dictionary, the other one. But yeah, as a reminder, actually I think I know all the... I still remember all the rules and exceptions to it. Yeah, technically it should be accented before the ban itself. So yeah, for example, Ichiban, number 1, also used, and this is quite important actually, I'll mention it. I think we have seen it once in a previous series, but I didn't mention it again, I think, in this one. Yeah, the exit Ichiban, so the Chi, before the ban itself. But yeah, literally means number 1. But yeah, by extension, it becomes an adverb with the meaning best, most, literally from number 1. And so actually used in for superlatives. But we'll see that again when the time comes, when we see it again in practice with that usage, but it was at least worth mentioning. Okay, let me find... Okay, now I got to the section. But yeah, the exceptions would be Sun, which we have seen last time in the previous castle, because yeah, it was the third, we had the third castle, so the third, as we see here also, Koopaling. By the way, I've just seen also another thing that will confirm what we have also seen about this specifically, but we'll see it in a second. But yeah, we've seen that number 3 is one of the exceptions which becomes unaccented. Samban on its own. Samban. The other exception is the number 5. That one actually happens more often for more numeral plus counter combinations. We have seen other ones that the exception was with the number 5 that became unaccented. In our case, so Goban. But yeah, in this case, no, simply accented on the syllable before ban itself. So yeah, in this case matters the syllable because the accent can stay on the n. So yeah, it stays on the yo, yomban. And yeah, after that, simply we have all the other ones all accented before ban itself. But yeah, here we don't have yomban on its own. We also have me. We have studied its kanji on its own means I. But we have seen used also as a suffix to make ordinal numbers. So yeah, first, second, third, and so on, with numeral plus counter combinations. And yeah, in our case, literally with simply number 1, number 2, number 3. So yeah, first number technically, second, third, and so on. We have seen that the accent when we add me is on the me itself, so quite convenient. But yeah, what I've seen, I've now spotted that in the dictionary we have the entry here on the table of the counters. Ban me, and yeah, the accent is always ichiban me on the me itself, niban me, sanban me, yonban me. Like in our case, Goban me, Rokuban me, Nanaban me, Hachiban me, Kyuban me, Juban me. So yeah, luckily it's pretty easy. It makes it way easier to remember. Actually, in this case, would then become unaccented again because we had the possessive particle no, and that causes words accent on the last syllable to become unaccented. Yonban me no. Yeah, fourth. And then after that we have kokupa. So we have seen the ko, the prefix for small. Reminder that ko on its own with a different kanji means child. Most likely still related, but yeah. Here would be with a different kanji if it were written in kanji. And means small. Yeah, after that we have Koopa, Bowser's Japanese name, so yeah. Small Bowser, and yeah, so they are the Koopalings. Then we have the inclusive particle mo, also even. Then we have Nantoka, which comes from nani, the pronoun which means what. As you can see here, actually in its pronunciation, nan. By the way, nani, accent on the first syllable on the na itself, also when pronounced as nan. And yeah, it's clearly simply a contraction, but it's straight up required when you use it in certain combinations like this one. And yeah, we have what. Technically, then we have to. The quotation particle, I'd say in this case, it its other usage is with, as in together with someone, something, and so on. Can be used also as an and between nouns. Be careful because can be used as and with verbs. You have to make usually the form for those or other similar structures. But yeah, here most likely quotation particle. Then we have the ka, which is the interrogative particle. But the interrogative particle, when used with pronouns, actually is used to make the corresponding some word. When added to nani on its own, it would become nanika, and as the meaning would have the meaning something. But yeah, here we have this toka, on the other hand. Technically also used as a particle on its own, with the meanings and the like, such as, among other things, and so on. Usually often used as something toka, then something else toka. So actually, in this case, maybe more as in the meaning with or the and, as mentioned for the to. But yeah, can also be used toka for or something like a certain. In that case, usually with verbs of saying you, for example, to say. And yeah, in that case, the to would be the quotation particle. But yeah, simply in this case, we had toka to make something. But unlike the nanika, which is simply something, this is something or other, so and so. Although in this particular case, we actually use the other meaning of the word, which is related, of course, which becomes somehow, anyhow, one way or another. So yeah, we keep the meaning of toka we have seen. One way, the one way, better the how, or the or another is the meaning given by the toka. So yeah, that's why we use it in this case. And yeah, after that we simply have Korea from English clear. I think we have seen it before in this very series. On its own, usually written as without a longer vowel at the end. Here actually we can see that can be used also with that. Could be simply also to make it longer for emphasis. Korea. But yeah, either way, yeah, it comes from English clear. And yeah, clear all its meanings. In our case, of course, clearing of a level, beating the coupling. Yeah, so the translation becomes even the fourth coupling. We have to imply the verb. In Japanese would be most likely simply a suru, to do literally. So yeah, to do clear. Technically it should be in the past because we have defeated the coupling. So yeah, even the fourth coupling has been cleared technically, has been beaten. somehow, again, better in one way or another. Yeah, after that, we have Mario tachi wa kore kara mayoi no mori ni wa itte iku. And then we have an interrobang. But yeah, first and foremost, we have, of course, Mario. Mario, the name of our protagonist. With the suffix tachi, the pluralizing suffix. In this very series, we have seen that, luckily, when we had that, the accent is always on the syllable before tachi itself. So in our case, would be Mario tachi. So low, high, high. So high until included the O. And then tachi itself, low, low, low. So yeah, quite convenient. Then we have the topic particle wa. Wanted to quickly still check it, but we have seen it. Yeah, we have seen it with other words, of course. For example, kodomotachi, children, onnatachi. Yeah, so regardless of the accent of the previous word, it's always before tachi itself. So yeah, pretty easy. Yeah, we have the topic particle wa. As for Mario and Co. So yeah, this tachi with proper names becomes the name of the person and Co. Something like that. So yeah, as for Mario and Co. Then we have kore kara. Kore, as we have seen, part of the Kosado series. With re, the demonstrative pronoun this. Technically also these, because yeah, unless we had the pluralizing suffixes, usually used for names of people, words in Japanese can be either singular or plural. But yeah, in this case, I'd say these, and it's actually, there's something else to mention, because after this kore, unaccented, because of, as we have mentioned, koso are usually unaccented, do accented on the first syllable. But yeah, we had the particle kara from, both in a location sense and also temporal. And yeah, the one used more often than not for this expression, kore kara, technically interesting, becomes accent on the kara, it's on the ra, on the last syllable, so even though usually you'll hear it like here without anything after, so yeah, then it can be distinguished from unaccented words, but yeah, technically accented on the last syllable of kara. Yeah, becomes from, technically, this point in a temporal sense, so yeah, from now on. Can also have technically the meaning from this point, from this, as in this point, so yeah, from here. More often than not, you see it in a temporal sense. Then we have mayoi, which comes from mayou. Want to check its accent. Okay, no, actually accented, so ma yo u. low, high, low. Mayo means to get, to lose one's way, to get lost, to go astray. Other extended meanings, but yeah, the fundamental one is to get lost. To lose one's way, to go astray, yeah, but that's to get lost. It's a verb, Godan verb, so we can change the U into I to make the continuative form. In this case, the corresponding noun, which becomes, because of the meaning to get lost, to lose one's way, more often than not in a figurative way. So yeah, it becomes then the meaning for the noun itself, Mayoi, accent on the last syllable, and so follows the rule, because the verb is accented. It usually means hesitation, perplexity, doubt, indecision. Also, by extension, illusion, delusion, and this is actually the meaning that interests us in this case. Actually, by extension also, in Buddhism, inability to reach enlightenment. But yeah, here we have simply illusion or delusion. Then we have the possessive particle no. And then we have the term mori. I think accented, actually unaccented, but we'll check. It means forest. You might have heard it in the title of Animal Crossing in Japanese, Dobutsu no Mori. Dobutsu, by the way, so worth mentioning is it's a pretty common word because it's a Chinese compound, and so luckily it's unaccented, as usual. It means animal, literally from the verb, the kanji, which means to move, and then the one for thing. And yeah, the butsu we have seen mono in its strictly Japanese reading. We have already studied the kanji, I think still in Kirby's Adventure. But yeah, literally moving thing, and so yeah, that's the term for animal. But yeah, mori, unaccented forest. And yeah, so it's the forest of illusion, as it's called in this game, in English. But if I recall correctly, and I think we have already seen it in the first Legend of Zelda, and we should see it in future ones. I think that the term the Mayoi no Mori is also the name for the lost woods in The Legend of Zelda. But yeah, we'll see it again in future Zelda games. I think we have seen it in the first one, because technically there is a lost woods already there. But yeah, we'll verify it also in future games. But yeah, here in this game, it got translated literally Forest of Illusion. Then we have the particle ni. In this case, to. And so, go to with verbs of movement. It's worth mentioning the difference with e, which we have already seen before in this episode. E means more to, as in towards, more the direction. Ni, usually the destination. Not always that's respected, but yeah, you will see both e and ni for to, as in towards. Then we have actually, yeah, I think here I might have read it in the wrong way then. Unfortunately, we can't tell because it's written all in hiragana. Despite sometimes using kanji this game a couple of times, as we have seen. But yeah, technically, this could be either ni wa. So yeah, ni, the particle ni, plus the topic particle wa, as for going. But I think, and I think that's how I read it at first, but I suspect it's actually ni, the particle, and then wa is actually pronounced as ha because it's at the start of a word, and so actually from, of hairu. Funny enough, and yeah, that's why I don't understand why they don't use the kanji also here, since we actually studied it thanks to this very game. We found it there. Yeah, the verb hairu means to enter, to go, come, go, get, in. Several extended meanings also. We have seen that technically it's a compound. The original verb, which means to enter, to come, go, get, in, is iru, unaccented. Here, most likely a combination of how, nowadays to crawl, to creep, to go on all fours. Simply why they use that, I have no idea, but yeah, most likely it's from that. We will change the u into i to make the continuative form, to then attach iru to make the compound, two i, and only one remained. Actually, I think when we studied the kanji for iru, we have seen that ha, i, ru used to be written as ha, hi, with the kanji, with the kana for hi, and then ru. And yeah, that will confirm that actually the it comes from how, because yeah, actually that originally was ha, hu, actually ha, pu, papu, because the hagyo, the haro was read as p, but yeah, then we had all those changes. Yeah, just as a reminder, I explained actually these aspects before when we studied the kanji in this very series. Again, you can find the exact part in which we did that in the description of the playlist of this very series. Yeah, so we have the verb hairu, u verb, godan verb, despite being in iru, because most verbs in iru, eru are ru verb, ichidan verb. There are some exceptions, and yeah, this is one of them. Being a u verb, godan verb, to make that a form, we have to follow the rules. It's in ru, so we replace the ru with double consonant te. Again, most likely, first we change the u into i to make the continuative form hairi, and then add te. Then the i most likely file hair te, difficult to pronounce. And so yeah, it became double consonant instead. Actually, I think we have seen already a verb in ru in this very lesson, but I'm forgetting which one. But yeah, that's why the form becomes like that. Okay. Yeah, the form which is required because then we had the verb iku. And yeah, also with that we have the confirmation that, yeah, usually if you wouldn't make the verb iku, because the form of the verb iku, which is completely irregular in that case, because usually it would be the verbs in ku would become I te, again, u into I, so I, ki, te. But then, usually for most verbs, the k would drop and remain I te. Most likely in this case, it happened the other way around, so the I fell, so ik te, and then, so yeah, then difficult to pronounce, double consonant te. I am making the te form of iku to only then add iku again, yeah, even as much as teiku is these forms with te, and then the verb iku as an auxiliary are common in Japanese. I don't think it's ever done with the verb iku itself, or at the very least, usually isn't. The verb iku would be enough on its own. So yeah, we have further confirmation that this should be hairu. But yeah, we had the form with iku after it. Technically, it could have different meanings. The most common one is simply to show the direction of the action. So in this case, you would go in, so yeah, from their location, they would go into the Forest of Illusion. If someone came in, we would use te kuru. Kuru means to come, and so yeah, because of that. These forms also can have a temporal meaning. So yeah, with iku, to go, from this point onward. With the kuru, the opposite, so yeah, up to this point, coming to this point, figuratively, of course, in a temporal sense. Technically, both could apply, but yeah, I'd say most likely simply physically in this case. So yeah, the translation becomes as for Mario and Co. From now on, they'll enter. We have to use the future. And it isn't a problem because actually the present form of the verb in Japanese can be used for the future. But yeah, from now on, they'll go into, better, to keep also the ni, go into the Forest of Illusion. Well, also that from now on, literally, as in korekara, technically, the teiku in that sense would make also more sense with the tempora, but yeah, could be either technically. But yeah, we can continue. We have the then we have nazo tokanai to deru koto ga dekinai toyu fushigi no mori. First and foremost, we have nazo. Don't remember if we have already seen it in this series. I think we have seen it before. It means riddle, puzzle, enigma, mystery. And yeah, the favorite word of Professor Layton. Yeah, naso means is unaccented. Yeah, it is. Then we have the observed particle o. Yeah, then we have the verb toku. Actually, I think accented, but we'll see in a second. Technically, it means to, well, its fundamental meaning would be to untie, to unfasten, to unwrap, to undo, to unbind, to unpack. All those verbs that, yeah, mean to undo in the, depending on how you have if you have tied, fastened, wrapped, and so on, something. The accent of okay, accent, yeah, so I was correct. Toku. By extension also to unsew and stitch. But by further extension, so in a more figurative manner, it becomes to solve, to work out, to answer. Yeah, strictly, not strictly to answer, because there's actually there are other verbs for that. Yeah, the best translation here would be to solve a riddle, puzzle, mystery. Okay. In typical Professor Layton's fashion. But yeah. So yeah, you see often this naso o toku. So to solve a mystery, riddle, puzzle, and so on. Here, we have toku is a verb colon verb. So we can change the u into a to make the irrealis form, the not yet state form, as I call it, based on its Japanese name, used in contemporary Japanese first and foremost, mostly I'd say, to then attach nai on its own, an adjective which means non-existent, and yeah, to make the negative form without further conjugation in the past, potentially also the future, as mentioned, in plain speech. Here, required, because then we had to. In this case, a conjunction to make one of the forms of the conditional can also be used in a temporal sense. So yeah, if, when, similar to English. With to, we make a conditional that's the closest one to the zero conditional in English. So if if the verb with the to happens, then whatever else is said after it will inevitably happen. While here in this case in the negative. So if that doesn't happen, then whatever else is said, which we'll see in a second, won't better isn't happening, period. But yeah, after the to, we have deru. Funny enough, also another verb which we have seen its kanji in this very series. We also studied in this very series. It's the opposite, which means of hairu, or iru on its own. Iru on its own, I think I mentioned again that is used nowadays in Japanese mostly in certain expressions. Usually you'd use hairu for the verb to enter, to go, come, get in. Yeah, this one means to exit, to go, come, get out, to leave, also accented. And yeah, here we have it in its dictionary form. So, the present, potentially also future, in plain speech. And yeah, that's because after that we had koto, again to make the nominalizer for verbs. But yeah, again, we have actually the structure kotoga, the kiru. So one way of the ways to make the potential form of the verb. Here, instead of the kiru on its own, we have we conjugate it. The kiru is a ru verb, it's a verb, so we can drop the ru. In this case, to make the irrealis form, not yet state form, yeah, simply to add then nai to make the negative in plain speech. After that, we had to. In this case, it's not again the conditional, but it's the quotation particle. Because after that, we have immediately the verb you. As mentioned, actually, it means to say, its fundamental meaning. And yeah, so to say, quotation particle before it, and before all that, yeah, we have the quotation itself. We could say with, and then the quotation. That's why we use to, which is also used as a with in the sense of a companion in that case. But yeah, here quotation particle. After you, we actually have fushigi. Well, fushigi no mori. We see why that, but yeah. At the end, we have mori again. So yeah, technically, we would have a noun. So yeah, all that before fushigi no mori, up to the you included, it's a relative clause. And yeah, we have then fushigi, mysterious, strange, and so on. We have seen before that technically it's a contracted form of fukashigi. Fu is the negative prefix. Then one of the negatives in Chinese. Ka means possible, and so on. So yeah, not possible. And then we have this shigi, which literally shigi would be to imagine and comprehend in Chinese. Shigi nowadays in Japanese has the meaning conjecture, guess. It's a Chinese compound accent on the first syllable in this case, from the verb to think, and the other one which is to deliberation, consultation, debate, consideration. Yeah, so you can see why in Chinese that the meaning shigi has the meaning to imagine and comprehend. If we had fuka before it, impossible to imagine and comprehend. So yeah, something strange. Well, actually, fushigi also has the other meanings: wonderful, marvelous, incredible, amazing, curious, miraculous, mysterious. But yeah, the fundamental meanings, I'd say, are strange, curious, mysterious. Fushigi unaccented, by the way. Also, I think it was fukashigi unaccented, but I could be forgetting. We've seen it before because, yeah, we've explained this before. Yeah, no, okay, yeah. That one, fukashigi, is actually accented on the ka itself, so yeah, be careful. Even though nowadays you want to practically see that form. Funny enough, it's in the title of the new Yoshi game, the upcoming Yoshi game. Yeah, nowadays in practice, in Japanese, you'd use fushigi instead. Unaccented, that one. Either an adjective or can be also a noun, of course, one usually with then the possessive particle no, and still used in practice as an adjective, like in this case, strange, curious, mysterious forest, we have mori again. Yeah, so we can translate. Implied a copula, so yeah, it's. So we have to add it in English. In refer to the forest of illusion, it is a strange, curious, mysterious forest. Said and in English we have to adapt it. In Japanese it's a relative clause as mentioned. Of which is said, we could say that if you don't solve the riddle, puzzle, mystery, also plural technically we could keep, because yeah, it has technically more than one. You can't leave, you can't exit it. Yeah, last but not least, we have Hatashite mori o nukeru koto ga dekiru no ka. First and foremost, we have hatashite. Technically, a te form, as we see, from hatasu. Hatasu, accented, means to accomplish, to achieve, to carry out, to fulfill, to realize, to execute, to perform, to do. Yeah, it's say the fundamental meaning to accomplish, to achieve, to carry out, even better potentially to fulfill. Yeah, all those meanings. Fundamental meaning better maybe to fulfill in this case. Yeah. We make that a form, it's a verb code and verb, so we have to follow the rules like it's the easiest one. We change the U into E, so make the continuative form, and then simply add te, no changes. And so we get this the form of hatasu. Oh yeah, it's actually used more like as if it were an adverb technically, or an expression, even though literally it's straight up the form of the verb. And from those meanings we have mentioned, to accomplish, to fulfill, and so on, we get the meanings as was expected, just as one thought, sure enough, or really, actually, ever. Yeah, so hatashite, when you find it ready as is, accented on the ta, just because it's the te form as mentioned, of an accented verb, has these meanings. So in this case, let's say sure enough. Well, actually, in this case, yeah, we have to. It's better the meanings really, actually, ever, because those are used in interrogative and hypothetical sentences. Yeah, like in our case, as we'll see. Then we have mori again, the forest. We have the object particle o. We have the verb nukeru. Should be unaccented. And it is. We've seen it before, it has several meanings. In this one, the fundamental one, the one used also here, is to come out, to fall out. And yeah, in our case then by extension to escape. After that, we have again the structure Kotoga de Kiru, cioè can escape. Last but not least, we have no ka. We have technically no the nominalizer for one of the nominalizers for verbs. Ka, the interrogative sentence particle. The interrogative particle, a final sentence particle. Yeah, when we combine no and ka, we get this compound particle, which has the meanings either it's for endorsing and questioning the preceding statement, like in our case, I'd say, or also for lamenting reflections on the preceding statement. But yeah, in our case, let's say the questioning of the preceding statement. So in our case, the full translation then it becomes will implied they, Mario and Co, be able to escape? Will they actually, for the attached or ever, we could say, I keep it actually in this case, will they actually be able to escape the forest? And yeah, so with that, we have been able to check the story. And yeah, there's also the hill hurt there. And yeah, we arrived at the World 5, the Forest of Illusion. And yeah, we went already out beyond our usual time, so we'll save and end.
Here we go. Super Mario.
And yeah, you might have actually noticed, show quickly, we have a star on our save file. And yeah, I don't remember all the requirements to get these, but yeah, we apparently did enough to get one.
Super Mario.
But yeah, I wanted to show these, our current progress, and yeah, we are in World 5, and yeah, we've played 48 levels so far. Yeah, we can close the game. And yeah, so today we have continued Super Mario World, as in Super Mario Advance 2 version. We continued World 4, finished and completed it, in the sense again of playing all its levels, finding all its exits. We also played the related Star World level, accessed from it. And yes, so next time, which should be on Friday, we'll continue this game. We'll start World 5, but as you might have heard, this Friday, a Pokemon Presents is happening, and I'd like to watch it, react, quote unquote. So yeah, watch it and then commenting on it for the channel. Unfortunately, yeah, watching should be in quotations in this case, because yeah, being a Pokemon Presents, we won't even wait at least one day, because I'm pretty sure those don't show up in the news section on Switch 2. So we'll have to check it out on YouTube, but there will be all the technical limitations, so yeah, it won't be particularly visible. Hopefully it will be able to be heard well, at least. There shouldn't be differences compared to the international versions, but just to hear the Japanese. But yeah, mostly after hearing it more than seeing it, because there will be issues for sure because of the technical limitations. We'll comment it. But yeah, after doing that, on our first stream. Immediately after, we'll continue with this series. So yeah, see you on Friday for the Pokemon Presents first. Then our current Let's Learn Japanese with series, which is Super Mario World, as in Super Mario Advance 2. And yeah, see you next time.